Here, look, I'm just gonna try to start streaming, see what happens. But here, let me go to my dashboard thing
Wait,
because,
so
like,
what title and thumbnail did you put? You can hear me right now?
yeah, I can hear you, but it doesn't in OBS. It doesn't, make you do any of that. So I don't know how it's gonna work. I'm hitting go live on the YouTube Studio thing.
Okay.
Um, uh,
Oh.
okay,
I
so
accidentally had my mic. Do I sound different now? Or do I sound the same as before as far as like the quality?
it sounds different. It's like, I mean, it's okay, but part of what you were just saying was a little like crackly, like it got a little of the electronic.
It was too loud?
Yeah, like it sounds like it's being over driven, maybe.
Okay, well I just turned on my mic. That's supposed to be better than the iPhone, the Mac mic, so I don't know. Like compare this sound and then I'm gonna turn it off. Okay, now compare it to this sound. Do you hear any kind of difference in the quality?
Oh. Okay, nice. It started. Difference in quality. So I mean, I think this one. I mean, you can give me a little more account, but I think it's. I mean, it's not doing the crackly stuff right now.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, so see, wait. Viewers will experience buffering. Error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. What? Stream settings. So here I'll. Well, when it says stream URL, that seems weird because that's not what I give other people to go live, right? I mean, do you want to try to like on another tab? I guess I could. Like I don't know what I'd go to youtube.com/, raw tech or whatever. Is that
I'm
like
gonna I'm gonna see if your live stream's playing.
right? I don't even know how to
I can do that.
check. And then that's the thing that I'm not understanding as well. It's showing my camera on my Discord just fine, even
I
though
can
it
check
looks
because
fucking weird.
I'm subscribed to you. One sec. It'll be easier for me to do it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna. Oh,
Uh,
oh shit! Did I make an oopsie here? So all that stuff I was talking with. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Maybe it'll work for you now when I leave it regular and not like snap camera.
one sec. Oh yeah, I'll tell you.
When I
Here it
leave it
is.
regular. It says
Okay,
viewers
yeah.
will
So I see
experience.
me in one corner. I see you in the bottom.
Right. I
Then
can
I see
change
AOC on
the
the.
layout. I'm just confused that when I put it into this mode, there's like a third camera or a third something at the top. I guess it just has to be like that. But yeah. So I don't know. So if this is it, then I don't know if we want to get right into it. I mean, I think you sound fine. I'm. Oh yeah. Got it in my headphones here. I think the stream should be able to hear both of us.
Yeah, can you call into mine like you did before? Remember when you clicked on that link that you had in your email?
What do you mean by call in? I'm not sure I'm following.
I'm gonna
Call into your hold on. So yeah, I'd
probably
save
text
that
you.
bookmark. So you're saying for my camera to get to you, right?
Yeah.
Um so this Ecamm live interview. So I can tell you I'm probably going to have that camera thing, right? Because it belongs to Discord, like I can't like tell this thing that it can also use my camera. Now, yeah, this might become something. I don't know if it'd be weird, different. I mean, for me to have like two cameras set up, but I mean, I'm guessing it's per like USB connection, right? Um, and the other thing I could do, you know how I used my phone that one time?
Right.
See, but actually, I kind of tricked it that time because I popped it up. It was just streaming to like a browser, and then I just captured the browser in OBS. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't think it'll be a selectable camera from a list. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can be able to send. It's very weird that like even the microphone option, it looks like it's just bugged. Like, do you want to send me? Are you sure the number would be the exact same? I mean, it's letting
I'm
me
gonna send you the link
try.
again. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, you
How
can
do I
send
how
me.
do I text you on here while I'm watching your live stream? Okay, message Raji. Okay, send it to you.
Wait, ready to video chat? Oh, okay. Um, okay, I see it. Yeah, but it's the same link and yeah, so it does the same thing. Like the problem's not that yeah, the link's not working. It's just like it says verify that your camera is not in use by another program and then try again. But it definitely is in use because I'm
Gotcha.
using
That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. So things just not gonna work.
It's
Um
fine. This Discord just isn't really compatible with doing too much extra stuff.
right, right. Well, I'm learning that it's a thing with like Windows in general, just computers. Like once certain one program is using the camera, another one can't. It even yeah. I mean, all in all, that's
Yeah.
it. But do you want me to also
That's the cool thing
like
about
go ahead?
my program. The thing I have instead of OBS, it's called Ecamm.
Yeah.
Using so my camera is connected to Ecamm, and then Ecamm is used as a camera for everything. When you called me on Discord, Discord connected to Ecamm. Like what you're seeing is being funneled through Ecamm.
Right, right. Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, you might have to figure it out a little bit just for long term,
for sure, for
the
sure.
technical aspects
Um,
of it.
yeah, yeah. There might be a better way to do it. Knowing that going in. I mean, I just don't know if so like in OBS I have the like I'm streaming, but then there's like the start recording. Like I could also record it in case, I guess I could just record the part once we, say go and stop to then have something to edit and all that. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
makes sense.
Well, hopefully, yeah, my computer can handle it. Oh yeah, my CPU is only at 10%. All right. I mean, so you think
Your what? Your CPU?
yeah, OBS I guess tells me at the bottom what yeah my CPU's doing.
Oh, that's awesome. That tells you that. Mine doesn't.
Yeah, wait. So it says live for okay. Yeah, it's been 9 minutes. Um, analytics.
Want to do
Yeah,
a?
that's.
Want to change the title and the thumbnail and try and make it a?
I mean,
Hey,
oh, it's right
can I
here.
put? Can you mute me for a sec? Like mute my mic. I gotta take a quick call. It's actually super important.
Yeah, yeah. Let me go to Discord. Oh yeah, and you can.
Mute me. I gotta take this call.
All right, you're muted. All right, and now I am going to upload thumbnail. So do you see? I mean, you should be able to unmute yourself, I think. Actually, I'm not sure about that. But it doesn't look like you're on the phone, so I'll unmute you, I suppose.
Let me unmute myself because you muted me.
Okay. All right. Well, you're unmuted now. I think the thing should have been updated. I saw where to do the what do you call
Thumbnail?
it? Yeah, the thumbnail, and I changed the stream title, reacting to AOC, GMA, and retail trading. Like, why not?
Oh, yeah, put Robinhood in there somewhere. I feel like that's a good thing to throw in there.
Let's see. Let's see. I mean, there are a lot of. Well, does it let you do like? No, you don't do like 2 lines. I don't know. I mean, I guess it doesn't let you do like tags, so. Or, oh yeah, no, it's down here. Because maybe just Robinhood and stuff. I mean, at that point, it's like, I don't know, Citadel, Melvin, fucking Capital, Short Squeeze, fucking Stonks. Dude, I think that name Stonks is fucking hilarious, dude. Gets me every time.
No, it's just totally random. All right, yeah. I guess the way this is going, I'm not going to be able to.
To stay.
Oh.
Or what's up?
I guess the way this is going, I'm not going to be able to record my side, but that's fine. We'll just practice on your end.
Right. We had
Big
to
deal.
do a different one.
Yeah, because it's because the whole Discord thing doesn't work very well with anything else. It seems like on your end.
So, I mean, but you couldn't capture like with Ecamm. You can't just like capture Discord or whatever. You know
I can, but look, this is. I can, but look, if I do that, then you're gonna see Discord as well. Look, on your stream, watch. So I'm capturing Discord, but now you can see it as well. You know what I mean? Well, I guess what I could do. I guess what I could do is I could just go back to Discord and just not use my cam, just use my webcam. So yeah, let me just do that then. Yeah, like video settings, FaceTime camera. Now my camera probably just changed, right? To like a lower quality one.
Yeah, change this other one. I think it's gonna look fine for yeah.
That's cool. So then I can do whatever I want on my end now because you're not seeing any of my stuff on my end.
Right. So yeah, we should be good, and you get my voice and everything, right? So yeah, you can do your own recording like that.
Yeah. So now I can just do my own recording. Cool. That makes sense. You're just gonna get a lower quality camera of me, but it seems like that to be a huge deal.
Yeah, I was gonna see if it was maybe more noticeable once I stopped sharing this and we're bigger on the screen, but yeah, I think we're ready to get right into it. What's up? Start playing some bids.
Give me 5 more.
All right.
Thank you.
So I figure we'll do an official, small introduction. Something official, right?
Oh yeah, let me just close my door because I had the door open. Okay. All right, I'm ready.
Yeah. All right. I don't think we should start. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so it's calling it streaming, but that's what's throwing it off. It's not streaming. It's stop sharing that screen. So yeah, you see how this look here? Boom. I think both our cameras look fine. So yes,
Gotcha.
welcome
You made
on
me
the
bigger. Oh, okay. There we go.
right. Yes, I don't know if you're able to have this one up too, but let's talk about some GME and stonks, huh? I mean, by now people have, I'm sure, got the information on it if they wanted to. The whole, GME, Reddit, like, there's a bunch of things at play here, and I don't know. Now that the stock has actually crashed back down, it's like some of those people, the redditors, have realized their losses and everything, but it's this is going to be at the forefront of people's minds. Like, are things going to change, or is it going to go on business as usual? Um, so yeah, well,
Hey, man, it's feeling like business as usual at the moment.
right,
That's how it always feels like an emotional roller coaster. Like same with Bitcoin, like any other bubble. When things are going good, it feels like it's never going to end, and then when things go bad, it feels like okay, it's normal now.
yeah, yeah, and
At least
right,
that's what
how
it feels like.
how many weeks could it take? Like, I don't know, the Super Bowl happened this weekend, and then then we'll it be in the back of people's minds. We'll see, but yeah, I mean, if people hadn't gotten all the info on it, this video we're about to watch goes into pretty heavy detail. So I figure we'll go through a few, go through each section, and then we can kind of stop it and give our takes on some of that. So let me go ahead and share
Dude,
my
oh my god,
screen.
I didn't realize it was all the way down to $50. Jesus.
Oh yeah, it's gone
Oh
from
my god.
it's like 90 yesterday, right?
Oh yeah, it's
Um,
dropped like 40% every single day. Jesus. From a 5 day perspective, it's down from 400 to 50. Oh my god.
yeah, it's a real crash if I've
That's the worst I've ever seen.
ever seen one. Yeah, and it's
Jesus.
um, oh, it's
You know
going
what's
back
funny
up.
too? I just want to point out, like I haven't been following them that closely, but like a lot of the channels that have been blowing, a lot of the YouTube channels that have been blowing up, making like live streams about GameStop, it kind of like went kind of ghosted this today, and like even some of them yesterday. Like as soon as the stock was crashing, they stopped going live.
Right,
Which I feel
right.
like I don't know if it's a coincidence, but like I almost feel like they should have just kept going live, like over
Yeah,
all the news, even going down.
people still want to know, right? It's for better or worse. It's like, I don't know, if you're riding with them through the high times, then it seems like you should be there, yeah, through the potentially low, or to know kind of what's going to happen. I mean, yeah, not everyone that's watching would have gone in themselves, right? And would have lost and been, I don't know, down in the dumps or something. Some people were probably just just observing, wanting to know as an outsider, like, what the hell's going on.
Right. Oh, dude, I actually had a thought. I should probably have my headphones on so you don't get any echo back, right?
Oh, I mean, but I think I thought I would have already, heard it by now, because, like, you're saying the audio is just coming out into the room.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, laptops have, like, I think some built-in, echo canceling, if that's just the mic on your laptop that you're using.
Yeah, so I'm worried that, yeah, I mean, let me just throw the headphones on just in case.
For sure, it might sound better.
All right.
Let me know if you've got me. You think you're ready? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
you throw in those Bluetooth
I'm
things that
ready.
could mess up
Yeah,
the
I'm
whole
ready.
tech setup. All right. So we're gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and oh yeah, to give a little introduction. So yeah, this was when AOC went live about, I think it's like 8 days ago now, and basically she's talking to physicists that came out of school and started making trading algorithms for Wall Street, and now they're basically slowly wanting to go through this whole GME situation. So I'll just let it play.
Broad strokes for folks watching that haven't quite wrapped their mind around it. How did we get to a bunch of Redditors squeezing hedge funds to the point where there's this idea that, hedge funds might have to get bailed out? Or people floating this idea?
Yeah.
Sure. So I think it's a combination of things. I would say we have a K-shaped recovery right now, right? We have some people that are doing terribly, that are still unemployed. We have some people who are fortunate enough to work from home, who have some disposable income and extra time on their hands. Some of the people in the latter category have begun trading stocks in their spare time at home and, working remotely with nothing else to do. And so this Reddit forum that's been around for a very long time called Wall Street Bets, I think grew and grew and grew, just as a lot of people, again, and I want to say this isn't everybody. I know a lot of people don't have disposable income to trade stocks and to trade options. But some people got really interested in this forum. It grew. And one technique that I would say Wall Street certainly has used against each other historically is trying to squeeze what are called shorts. So so you can buy stocks, right? That lets you own a tiny piece of a company. You can also bet against a stock, and that's called shorting a stock. And the way that works operationally is you borrow that stock from somebody else, you immediately sell it, and then you hope that it goes down. And if it goes down a lot, you can buy it for really cheap, you return it back to the person you borrowed it from, and you get to keep the profit. So that works fine and good if the stock goes down. But if the stock gets to go up and up and up, now you're losing a lot of money. Now you're starting to sweat. Now you're starting to get nervous. And you either have to hold it out and hope that it turns around, or you have to buy it back for much more money. And so the sort of scheme, I guess, or the idea on Wall Street Bets was to find stocks that they liked and thought were good, that were very heavily shorted, buy them, tell everybody and all their friends to buy them, and that would force the shorts to eventually give up and have to buy the stock back themselves, which would only then raise the price even more. I will say that the other thing that made GameStop and all these other stocks go up even higher than that is people were also buying what are called options. And options are
all right. Well, don't you think, because when I was watching this live, I felt like I wanted to see some figures and graphs on the screen with, shorts and that. It's not, I don't think it's so intuitive, the whole idea around that. And it's something that, really only exists on Wall Street. I don't know if like the whole, process of shorting a stock, is that something, I don't know, you were very familiar with or, had heard of, and like, you think it's like easy to understand?
Dude, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to interrupt, but I couldn't like hear any of that on my end.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know if Discord is like the best for like live streaming. I'm starting to feel like that.
Wait, but what do you mean Or I thought you would have told me early, and maybe I didn't
want to interrupt.
Yeah, I got you. But I know like when people have been in Discords and we share games and stuff, we can always hear it. Do you mean it's low, or you don't hear anything at all?
I couldn't hear it at all. Here, try playing it again, just like for a second.
Right. Let's go back here.
Derivative. This starts to get into an alphabet soup, so...
Okay, now I heard it. Now I hear it. I don't know what was going on earlier.
An option
just summarize it.
But not the obligation to
the gist of it was that
the future
they created algorithms to quickly
an option
react.
They didn't talk about the algorithm at all in that whole thing. All she was talking about was what happened, like shorting a stock, basically, like that you are borrowing, you're buying the stock now at maybe I just want to
in their spare time at home.
Play it again too.
A lot of people don't have disposable income. Is trying to squeeze what are called shorts. So a short.
You hear this? All right.
So you can buy stocks, right? That lets you own a tiny piece of a company. You can also bet against a stock, and that's called
Like-
shorting a stock. And the
Yeah,
way that
betting
works
against.
operationally is you borrow that stock from somebody else, you immediately sell
Borrow.
it, and then you hope that it goes down. And if it goes down a lot, you can buy it for really cheap.
Okay, was the whole thing? I don't know. It just seems like one of those things to me that I don't know. It's hard for it to somewhat make sense. But since you're borrowing the stock from someone else, and then essentially selling it immediately, and then hoping that in the future, right, it goes down.
You return it back to the person you borrowed it from, and you get
Hold on, return it back to the person you borrowed it from, but then it would be worth less than it was now, right? I borrowed 50 shares from you now that cost, whatever, $10 each, and I sell them immediately, so that's like 500, and then later, I don't know, they're only worth, let's say, $5, and you have 50 of them.
to keep the profit. So that works fine and good if the stock goes down, but if the stock starts to go up and up and up, now you're losing a lot of money.
Right. Okay. And I feel like the main part of this whole section, because when I heard about this whole situation at first, I thought it was like the GameStop, the Wall Street Bets people on Reddit, right? Maybe saw them do this, like within a month of this happening or something. And it was like, oh, everyone now jump on this and start buying it. Within a week of the news, when it blew up, I thought it had happened recently, but this was a buildup over like maybe 6 months to a year, where it's like he had seen that they shorted, the Wall Street people had shorted this like a while ago, and then once it was getting close to that point where they either have to buy it back or kind of let it go, right? Take their losses, you know what I mean? Because once you short the stock, I think that's what this next section.
Now you're starting to sweat. Now you're starting to get nervous. And you either have to hold it out and hope that it turns around, or you have to buy it back for much more money. And so the sort of scheme, I guess, or the idea on Wall Street Bets was to find stocks that they liked and thought were good, that were very heavily shorted, buy them, tell everybody and all their friends to buy them, and that would force the shorts to eventually give up and have to buy the stock back themselves, which would only then raise the price even more.
Right. So, I don't know how obvious it was to people that the whole idea or the fact that it crashed, this week, like was not, the big deal. It's kind of as intended, right? Because, by the time that one of those big hedge funds that, had shorted it, last Friday, they needed to buy it back then, right? It was like that last Friday was the deadline where you either had to buy the stock, all the stocks back that you shorted because it didn't reach that goal, and now you're having to buy them at 340 or whatever, whatever price it was at, to just cover themselves, kind of thing. And I think that part was not, basically not obvious to me at least, that this was it was never going to be a thing with like this thing going way to the moon. I don't think that was the goal of the Redditors that were sharing this. It was just kind of to hurt them by, okay, we know you have to meet it by this deadline, so we're going to drive the price up, because you have to buy it now.
Right.
Yeah,
But then I think they were hoping that it was going to. I think they were hoping there was like one last rally left. You know what I mean? Like one last pump.
Gotcha. Of just from the excitement
There was a lot
of it all.
Yeah, like there was a lot of hope that there was going to be more people that were still stuck in it, and we're going to have to sell this week.
Right. And I haven't even
That didn't happen.
read any of the actual like Wall Street Bets, stuff to know their goals with everything. There are a lot of players in it, but I think as this thing goes on, it gets into more of those.
I'm still trying to fully wrap my head around that short.
It's weird. Dude, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
right? It's not super
I'm gonna read it really
clear.
quick. It says when you borrow a share and you immediately sell it to somebody else.
Yeah.
So you borrow it and then you immediately to sell. So what that tells me is that you're not putting any money down right away. It's almost like a loan, like a debt. You're borrowing the share, meaning now you're in debt to whoever you borrowed it from. You're immediately selling it to somebody else. And then you're hoping you can buy them later at a lower price.
Right, and then you keep the profits. Yeah, that's how it ended that last section. So
I guess what it's saying is, like, let's say you own like GameStop and then I want to short it. I can borrow it from you at, like, let's say $10 for whatever. Let's say it was $10 at the time, but then I don't even keep it. I immediately sell it to someone else, and then you get the $10, I'm assuming, or I guess maybe I get the $10, and then later on I'm hoping it'll go down to $5, and I can just sell it back to you for $5 and keep the $10 that I got from the other person.
yeah,
Then, so I guess that's kind of the point. That makes sense, right?
yeah, that does make it. Yeah, it makes some sense that you're. Yeah, sorry, hold on. I'm just putting my head one more time because the.
Makes sense, right? So, like, you own it. Let's say you own a share of GameStop. I want to short it. So let's say it's worth $10 at the time. So I borrow it from you at the price of $10. I sell it to someone else for $10, which is market value at the time. Keep the $10, and then I'm hoping 2 months from now it'll only be worth $5, and I can sell it back to you for $5, and I keep the other $5 as a profit. So there's a contract saying, okay, this expires in 60 days. So at the end of those 60 days, I'm hoping it's worth less, and you're hoping it's worth more.
Right, because yeah, I get my stock back either way, whether it costs $500 now or whatever. You need to get me that back because that's the contract. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're hoping it's worth more than 10, which is what you originally loaned it out for.
Right.
And I'm hoping it's worth less. It's just literally gambling.
I mean, because when they do these shorts, right? Yeah, it's public information. So, you know what I mean? It's a thing where I think it talks about this later. I mean, that hedge funds and billionaires have been doing, this kind of thing to each other, a kind of push and pull thing because of all that. But yeah, I think I'm going to continue.
I will say that the other thing that made GameStop and all these other stocks go up even higher than that is people were also buying what are called options. And options are a derivative. This starts to get into an alphabet soup, so feel free to break in at any time.
Of course.
An option gives you the right, but not the obligation, to buy a stock in the future for a set price. So an option on GameStop that expires in a week might have what's called a strike price, and the strike price is the price you get to buy it at in the future. And why am I saying all of this? When you buy an option, you buy it from somebody on Wall Street, typically a market maker, who usually owns that stock. And they are saying, I have 100 shares of stock, and I am agreeing to sell it to you in the future at a set price. But if they don't own the stock, they have to buy the stock to hedge the position. So you had short sellers who were potentially going to have to buy GameStop. You had people on Wall Street bets buying a lot of GameStop. You had people on Wall Street bets buying options on GameStop. And then you had the people selling the Wall Street bettors options also having to buy GameStop stock in order to hedge their option position. So that sort of created this upward momentum in the stock. I do want to say that I don't think it's that simple. I think the important thing to remember about Wall Street is they don't want other people to know what they're trading. They want to know what their competitors are trading, and their competitors want to hide it from them. They pay a lot of money to try to figure out what their competitors are trading. And all of a sudden, you had a Reddit forum that was telling everyone on Wall Street not only what their position was, what their plans for the position was, and what they were trying to get their friends to do with the position, which, is actually Wall Street's dream, is to know what other people are going to do with a stock in the future. So what I suspect happened is, in addition to all these people on Reddit buying, in addition to the people who were hedging their option sales buying, you had a lot of people on Wall Street saying, oh, this is going to go up and I'm going to get ahead of it. And I'm going to ride it all the way to the top. And when it starts to crash, I'm going to ride it all the way back to the bottom.
See, and I don't know, this was when I kind of first heard that, and knew that like people on Wall Street are seeing this situation and jumping in themselves. Like, this isn't 100% Redditors and people of the internet driving the price of this thing up, right? It's saying that people on Wall Street are paying attention to all this going on and know that people are trying to drive the price of this stock up. So we're gonna make money on this too. So you know what I mean? It's hard to know how many players were all really in this, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know if there was anything else interesting in that kind of section for you. I mean, options are basically the opposite of shorts then, it sounds like.
That's not actually what I got from it. I think options could still be shorting or not shorting, because like here's the definition. It says a stock option is the right to buy a specific number of shares of a stock at a preset price known as a strike price. There are two types of options: a put, which is a bet that the stock will fall, or a call, which is a bet that the stock will rise. With options, you can play both sides.
Interesting.
Well, it's kind of confusing.
Yeah, it's confusing because does it just take out I didn't hear the borrow it part, right? It seems like it's just the part where we agree in the future that we'll be able to buy these, at this price, but it's not like, I mean, that has nothing to do with, you're not going to make any money off of one option, I wouldn't think, right? It's like option to get the stocks, and then you got to do something else with them, another option to then make them money. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to, it seems like with the short, it's like, I don't know, there's only one short that you're doing, but it's kind of got two parts to it. The part where you were immediately selling it to someone else, and then like at the end of it you buy it back. But yeah, it's also a little confusing. But yeah,
I honestly don't really understand how the options work. Put option buyer makes a profit if the price falls below the strike price before the expiration. The exact amount of a profit depends on the difference between the strike price and the option price. Expiration or in position, option is closed.
Oh. Okay, there's an option price that like you buy it at, and then the strike price. You're setting both of those when you make the option, both the original, price. I guess it's based on what it is at that time, and then, the other price, the strike price, is either up or down. Okay. I'm glad we went through this shit.
Right, but then how do you make money? But then how do you make money on the other end of that? Like if you're the one selling the option. It says a method here is how do you make money selling put options? The method here is to sell one or more cash secured put option to take on the obligation, potentially buy the shares at a certain price before a certain date and get paid money up front, taking that obligation. If you obligate yourself to do what you want it to do anyway, buy the stock if it dips. I don't know. Right?
Yeah, well, I mean, isn't it like if the option price, the price that you buy it at, is $10, and then the strike price was 15. Like someone did a put on it to that it would get up there, whichever one's up, but then it actually went down. By the time of that contract ending to like $8. Then it's like you owe the person $2, right? The person that sold you the option. I would think that's how you make money. So yeah, it's making a bit more sense to me now. Like I said, I'm glad we stepped through it slowly like this.
So
that makes sense.
Think you're ready to continue? Any more thoughts that you had? All right.
I'm ready.
Cool,
sort of the shortest possible version I can give about what started this.
So in a way, with all of the potential activity, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but in a way, are you saying that you have all of these Wall Street actors that are seeing what's going on potentially with this online activity and saying, well, we know that there's going to be a high volume of buys ahead of time, so I'm also going to buy under kind of the guise of all of this online activity going on, and then potentially make out on top of it as well.
Yes.
That's what you're saying too? So
yes, that is my suspicion, yes.
So so you suspect that this is not just Redditors buying this stock, but that it's also potentially larger actors on the market, and that's something to explore, that this is potentially larger actors on the market looking at activity happening ahead of time and then getting ahead of it that as well, and almost using that as a veneer for riding this stock.
Yeah. And there's one other wrinkle to all of this that I think is important for folks to know, which is a lot of folks have used the app Robinhood, which I like to think of as the Facebook of stock trading. And I say that because Facebook is sort of designed to keep you on Facebook, right? It's designed to grab your attention and keep your attention. And Robinhood is very similar. I would describe it as gamified. I know a lot of Robinhood folks would disagree with that assessment. That's just my personal assessment. But Robinhood is free. It doesn't charge commission. And the way that their business model works is they sell their order flow to market makers, which are these sophisticated Wall Street participants who execute the orders for them. The market maker they sell the most of their flow to is a hedge fund named Citadel. And Citadel is not just a hedge fund. They are also a market maker. They are also a technology company. They are owned by a billionaire named Ken Griffin, who is out of Chicago, who has funded some very questionable things in his political giving. But Citadel pays for Robinhood's order flow. And strangely enough, or maybe not so strangely, one of the hedge funds that Wall Street Bets was very excited about blowing up, Melvin Capital, was rescued by Citadel after it blew up. So Citadel is paying for the order flow on Robinhood, which is driving up the price of the stock, which crashed one hedge fund. And then Citadel sort of bought that hedge fund on the cheap after it crashed.
And so, for folks at home, so that we can put these dots together, because I think this is an important relationship for us to communicate and map out with you. So basically, also what you're saying now is that you've got Melvin Capital, right? Melvin Capital is the hedge fund that was shorting GameStop. They were the folks that were saying, we're going to make a ton of money. We're going to make a ton of money off of GameStop's stock going down. Wall Street Bets comes in, potentially with folks on Wall Street looking at what Wall Street Bets is doing to kind of supercharge this activity and say, you know what, we're going to make the stock go up, which would, of course, put Melvin Capital into an extraordinarily compromised position, which would essentially prompt them to get bailed out by one of the groups known as Citadel. Now, okay, so Citadel then swoops in as one of the actors to bail out Melvin Capital. But Citadel's owner also co-founded a different Citadel. They're both connected, hence the same name by the same owner. They are two technically different entities, though, but the same founder.
Right. So Citadel LLC is the parent company. Citadel Securities is the market maker that buys the Robinhood order flow. But the parent entity, Citadel LLC, is the one that swooped up Melvin Capital. And Congresswoman, I should just add there were actually two Wall Street firms that bought Melvin Capital, or rescued it, I should say. Citadel and another one, now I'm blanking, of course, on the name, but it's the new fund of Steve Cohen, who you may know as the owner of the New York Mets. And Steve Cohen is famous for all the wrong reasons.
Is what the chat says.
Yes, thank you. Steve Cohen is famous, or infamous, I should say, because he used to have a hedge fund called SAC that pled guilty to insider trading in 2013 and had to shut itself down. And so this is the next iteration of Steve Cohen.
Right. So we've got Citadel and then Point 72. who bail out Melvin Capital, who are relying on GameStop stock to tank. So Citadel swoops in to bail out Melvin Capital. But then meanwhile, this connected Citadel under the same founder, it also receives the advanced information from Robinhood. That's what you're saying?
Yes, and I should clarify that's not unusual. That is allowed. It is something called payment for order flow. During the Obama administration, they raised the question about whether or not that was a good idea. They asked one of their...
Okay. Yeah, I just decided to pause it there. I don't know if you had heard of any of that. It's a lot of names being thrown around, but I know when I watched this was one of the first times I even heard of, Citadel and Melvin and, the fact that how AOC at the very beginning alluded to, like, how people were talking about, where hedge funds about to be bailed out, much like the banks were, right, back then, or, the housing market, all that stuff. So, I don't know. Yeah. Did you know a lot about, Robinhood, the owners, and some of this shady stuff that seems to, definitely be going on with, around Robinhood?
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Just seems like a good excuse to me, a good excuse.
What, for the
convenience?
Big ass companies, to have for like bailing each other out. I mean, to me, it definitely seems like it seems like they're saying that obviously someone that owns the New York Mets and this Citadel that's saved that company that shorted GameStop a lot, right? So they eventually do get saved, right, by like other rich people, and just the fact that it's someone that's I thought the insider trading that happened before in one of their companies was funny, pretty obvious, but it's just one of those things that that just seems like another fine, right? Maybe they'll give them a slap on the wrist for for doing shady things, but ultimately if you have enough money, seems like the companies can come out on top in one way or another. But yeah, that was just
it just seems like a good excuse to me now. It just seems like a good excuse. Like that's their problem, not ours. So shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Yeah, I was.
SEC would.
You agree?
I was forgetting if there was anything else in that section. Melvin, the 0.72. No,
which is a market regulator. They asked the SEC's advisory committee if payment for order flow was just kind of disguising how you were really paying for stock trading. So the idea is Robinhood is free, you don't pay commission, but the broker is supposed to make sure that they give you what's called best execution. So they execute your trade and either get you the best price or they execute it really, really fast. Citadel is paying Robinhood for that order flow, and they pay them via these things called rebates. And Citadel might pay, whatever they pay. A different market maker may pay a little bit higher rate. And what is not supposed to happen is the broker is not supposed to give the order flow to the highest bidder, because that would prevent them from giving their customers best execution. People should know that Robinhood was accused by the SEC in December of 2020 of not giving their customers best execution and actually costing them $34 million, even when you accounted for the free commissions, because of their failures to provide them with best execution.
So you're saying just a month ago, Robinhood was in trouble for not optimizing their customers' trades?
Yes, it was covering a period of time farther back in time, right? It was, I think, in the 2018 range, but the action came down. Robinhood did not admit nor deny guilt in the action, but they did have to pay a civil penalty to the SEC to settle the charges.
And they did pay that penalty to the SEC. So these were charges that came up from the SEC just 1 month ago. But these were
Yes.
they were regarding actions that happened in 2018, but that this is documented past behavior from Robinhood.
I think it's interesting
Correct.
that she doesn't when they just mentioned the how much they paid, because they made it very clear that they were accused of shorting their customers 34 million exactly. So what was the fee they were charged by the SEC? You know what I mean? Were they charged 34 million? Is that where that comes from? Or I'd have to do my own research on that. But that is kind of though. I think it's interesting. I had pulled up an article about the order flows thing they're talking about, because that's that whole thing. I think they're about to talk about it in this next few minutes. But basically, well, yeah, I'll just let it play. I don't know. Is there anything you want to bring up here? I know it's only been a short.
Yeah, it says it was 65 million, the fine. I just looked it up.
Okay. I mean, and rightly so. Because if they're saying that, the whole idea, I had forgotten about that with Robinhood. There's no commissions for doing the trades, but if they're then selling it, see, when they're saying selling it to the highest bidder, it kind of makes it sound like, wouldn't they be making the person the most money? But that's that's definitely not how it is. I think I'm not grasping it well enough, because I can understand. I mean, they're not giving the customer the best the best trade that they could, and so it's on the wrong end. But yeah.
And the other thing is Robinhood wasn't disclosing, another part of that action was Robinhood wasn't disclosing that they were paying our market maker for the order flow. So why do I bring all this up? I bring this all up to say, is Robinhood doing the best by their customers? Are these fintech companies that are so easy to use that lots of people are using to trade stocks, are they doing right by their customers? I think that's an important question that regulators should be asking right now.
So let's talk a little bit about what happened today with the freeze that you saw, not just on Robinhood, but on, I believe, E-Trade, Wellbull, etc., where you have a lot of these retail, these retail platforms, all of a sudden putting a halt to some trades on not just GameStop, but there was also some activity, I believe, around AMC and other stocks that have been particularly identified by the subreddit Wall Street Bets. Tell me a little bit about what is going through your head when you see activity like that. And for folks at home, there are multiple possibilities here. I think a lot of people sometimes want to jump to certain conclusions, but in order for us to really responsibly look at the situation, it does seem like there's more than one potential explanation. But I'm interested in hearing what's going through your head when you see that, and what are some of the possibilities that could arise?
So I just don't know why Robinhood made the decisions they did to stop trading, allowing purchases of certain single name stocks today. Their decision was a little different than some of the other brokerages. So for example, so think of it from the point of view of the brokerage, right? Especially if people are selling stocks short, which has the potential for unlimited losses. If your client goes bust and enough of your clients goes bust, then the brokerage goes bust. Mm-hmm. So what a different brokerage did, not Robinhood, but one called Interactive Brokers and some other brokers on the that regular people use, is they just changed what's called their margin requirements. So if you wanted to buy a stock in some of these really active, volatile names today, you had to supply 100% cash margin. And what does that mean? You basically just had to front all of the money yourself, which might sound funny to people who don't trade stocks, but believe it or not, you can sometimes trade stocks with borrowed money. So they're basically saying you can't borrow any money. You got to trade cold hard cash if you want to buy these stocks. So that's what I sort of would have expected to see from everybody.
Imagine if the casino let you come in and just like borrow money from them to lose. And then that, I don't know, that you'd have to like eventually pay back, right? I don't know, man. Yeah, it seems it gets shadier and shadier when you like really pay attention to Wall Street, right?
Instead, what we saw is
Right.
Robinhood
That's why
just straight up saying
like
you
Robinhood
can't
was taking on risks
trade in
through
any
all
of these
that.
names.
Oh yeah, taking on risks. You said.
Then yeah, when the price crashed, then Robinhood would have been screwed too.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's why they brought up this section here. It's like, any of those companies. I mean, in no particular Robinhood that stopped people from buying more GME and maybe AMC and stuff. Is that, I guess, yeah, she's saying that's to actually protect them. I mean, I know she was saying that like when you short a stock, right? That's when you have the potential for that nearly unlimited losses when you need to like buy them back if it goes way up. But if people are just buying the stocks normally and not shorting them, I think they also stopped that too. So it really seemed like, from the outside, they were just stopping it to save that company, Melvin, from going even further in the hole, right? Because, well, that bailout, when they say that the Melvin company was rescued, I assume it's just buying the stocks that they shorted, right? Buying enough to cover them. So yeah, that it still seems shady to me, but yeah, they're just trying to tell us from the brokerage side. They don't want all their customers to go bust. So that's maybe why they do it too.
Now, I don't know that we know any more than that. Was there, direction coming in from regulators? Was this just a decision made by Robinhood? I don't think we know, but I was a little surprised at their action as it related to what other brokers did. And I should just say, if we can just rewind very slightly, because I forgot to mention this before.
Yeah, and I do like that. Well, on Twitch now, it didn't always work, but you do get the live chat that like scrolls and pauses with you, and it's just like you're seeing, because some people are correcting. I see in the chat that you couldn't buy. Oh right, but you could sell. But I think we knew that it wouldn't let you buy more of the stocks. But yeah, of course you could get out of it.
Oh, is that Discord that she's using, or that's Twitch?
No, yeah, this is the Twitch chat or whatever on the side here. So it does give you the option. I could just hide it, but I feel like the Twitch chat is still important. It sometimes provides some value.
Or about the whole idea of payment for order flow. The reason that's
it's hard for me to see
is
it,
because
it's kind of small on my
the
screen,
firm that you give your order flow to knows what
you
your
mean.
executions are, and they can run in front of it and front run and trade ahead of it and make profits, which may be fine or may not be fine. But I just thought that that's important to mention.
So you're saying,
Citadel.
Sorry, you're just about to say, and Citadel's the one who receives that advanced information from Robinhood. So
Correct.
all of these folks, but that advanced information only lasts for a few seconds, right?
Correct, but Citadel is known, and other entities that do this market making are known for their high frequency trading algorithms. That's their specialty. They're experts. They hire tons and tons of programmers, and so they're allowed to make profit ahead of that. But I think the question that a lot of people have, and we just don't have enough information to know, is were they doing more with that information than just executing the trades?
And so those are some of the questions that seem to be outstanding, right? Because if Citadel's receiving this advanced trade information from Robinhood, I go on my phone, except not me, because I don't believe members of Congress should own individual stocks, so I don't have any. But hypothetically, if I'm on Robinhood and I hit my order along with thousands of other people at that moment, Citadel is potentially able to get that information milliseconds in advance. And in those milliseconds, their trading algorithms could adjust, knowing that advanced execution information. Is that correct?
Yes. And I'll say that since a lot of the Robinhood trades are very low volumes, what they often do is batch them together. And so Citadel might be trading in much larger volumes and then matching the orders as they batch them together. Again, all in this sort of time of many microseconds. But that's what they specialize in doing, is this very, very high speed, high frequency trading, as it's called.
And so I think here,
because
it's the thing, like they all do shady stuff and then make like $100 million, and then once they get caught, they'll like get like a $30 million fine and then move on to the next shady thing. Money on.
Dude, yeah, honestly, because you hear what that's saying that, right? The company that bailed out the one that shorted GameStop and everything, and one that owns Robinhood, right? It's using the trades that people could be doing on Robinhood and saying, oh, a lot of these people, maybe batch them together. They happened within a few seconds of each other, batch them together, and, they could potentially, with that information in milliseconds, say a bunch of people are about to buy this, you know what I mean? Let me get an option to, to bet that it'll go up or something. You know what I mean? They could make trades that are advantageous, knowing that what's about to happen, knowing that big batches of Robinhood trades are about to come in. And so just the fact that that's what this goes on to show, that the tools that Wall Street has are always going to be above what normal people have, right? No one has access to that advanced information for trades. And so yeah.
For folks that are watching at home, this is what raises a bunch of questions, not just from me, but also from, I think, this is why this is starting to attract the attention of regulators, members of Congress, etc., because there's a lot of policy questions that come up. Policy questions about shorting stock, policy questions about, as you said, some of this advanced information. You mentioned the Obama administration started to raise some questions about the potential for this. And I think this also is about power, right? Because everyday retail investors don't get that. Even if you were able to, who knows, program something.
You see your YouTube studio? Has anyone seen the stream?
You do not have that millisecond advanced information. You just don't have the market power to have that, right?
Right. And I think that's the reason why, yes, studio. Lots of people are making money right now. Concurrent. Yes, one or two hedge funds are blowing up, but there's still always going to be a systemic disadvantage that retail has. And that Wall Street is always going to have the advantage. They have more data. As you said, Congresswoman, they're faster.
But it would at least be like a couple,
faster. And so they're always going to run circles around the little guy. Even if it seems
GME,
like they're losing.
Robinhood.
Yeah, and so I think
stuff.
this is something that's important for us to talk about too, because this is ultimately
the YouTube.
So much
the YouTube
of
has
what
more
made this
going on in the
story,
background.
I think, really exciting to
than
people at home is that
like,
at least
I don't know how many people are trying to go live, how many
these,
smaller ones,
3-4 days.
I still think it's a good
finally
practice.
felt
for
so many people at home.
I feel like we had a lot of technical difficulties again today.
People were really feeling
like only at the beginning though.
Everyday people were finally
pretty
able
normal. I mean, now that I know that stuff about the camera,
organize,
I think
and get back at the folks who have
historically,
had all the marbles on Wall Street.
Make us full screen again
and force one hedge fund into an existential crisis.
All I gotta do is hit this and that, right? Yeah. Back to us full screen. I know that was it felt like a while. I feel like you were just at 20-ish minutes, 18 and a half. But a good What's up?
To make us full screen, you had to completely close that out?
I don't have to. Oh, you mean make us full screen and still play it? Because I might be able to still
no. I guess I'm just wondering, can you toggle back and forth, between us full screen and that, or did you have to completely close it out?
Yeah, I mean, the way I had it set up, because I was sharing inside of Discord, if this was a different scene, you know what I mean? What I could have done is had this, and then I could have another Discord scene that's ready, that's just, say, the, hold on, I'll switch it to the Twitch, so now, since I put that in a different scene, so the stream could see that, and then I'll cut back over to our camera. But yeah, so it's on us now. I just do a different kind of setup, but that was best, because if I do it like that, then I was doing that more so you could see it and hear it too. You know what I mean? Doing it through Discord.
Gotcha. Yeah, the Discord definitely adds a different layer of complexity to figure things out, how they work best.
Yeah, I mean, when we were doing your interview thing, and it was just like, yeah, adding my voice and yeah, video to the eCam, yeah, it definitely made it easier because there's one less piece of software in between, right?
Right, but then were you able to see everything? Were you able to see the whole stream on your end too?
You saying we were doing that last time?
Yeah, when we were running on my side, were you able to see the whole thing?
Did you try to share something and all that? I forget.
Like when I invited you in as a guest, where you were able to see the whole stream, right? Like you could see everything that was streaming on your screen.
Yeah. Oh,
If
yeah,
I like,
yeah. I remember that because it was in that
like
browser.
you were able to see my screen too, right? So you could see what I was talking about.
Yep, for sure.
Okay, I couldn't remember, but yeah, that's good. Man, I think that was a pretty good sesh. I think I gotta run soon, like in the next 10 minutes, because I gotta go freaking snowed again. So now I gotta go shovel again, because Sarah never set up a shovel guy.
Bro. Bro. I mean, 'tis the season, dude, and it's like it's getting fucking colder and I don't know. Yeah, obviously tougher out there. I mean, I don't gotta tell you.
Yeah,
But
I feel like it's snowing more this year than like I can remember in the last few years.
yeah, it's quite a bit. I mean,
You agree?
yeah, probably. I mean, it stayed mild through like December, as it has been. But I don't know, this amount of snow, yeah, it's probably a little more than we've gotten in past Januaries. I guess it's just
I
barely
guess
over
maybe
January now.
I'm noticing it more now that I have to shovel.
Yeah, right. I mean, snow's been in the back of
Makes
my
sense, right?
mind because yeah, the last couple places I didn't have to shovel it anymore. It was the HOA and whatever. So yeah. I feel for you,
Yes.
but can't relate.
Dude, I posted a video today, and it's really frustrating sometimes because like the analytics look really good, like the click through rate and the watch time is really good, but it's just
Yeah.
not getting as many views. I don't understand why. That makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's
It's like what you
green in
do.
some categories, but red in some others. I know how it's usually like green, green, green.
Well, no, like it's so pretty much like when I post a video, as long as two things are good, I know it's gonna get pushed by YouTube to more people. Like if the click through rate's really good and the watch time is good, meaning people are watching like a good